To do my introduction on time, very brief as usual. L.A.S.E.R stands for Leonardo Art Sign Evening Rendezvous. If you're not familiar with it, go to lasertalks.com. Today we have these lunchtime presentations on Zoom, and then if you're in the Bay Area, in the evening we have 3 more talks in person. So I will introduce John and Sarah one by one. If you go to lasertalks.com, you will also find extensive long bios of the speakers and a link to their webpage. I would just say for more than 40 years, John has been creating large-scale narrative paintings and installations throughout the West Coast. And the podium is yours. Go ahead.
Yes. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'll just start with how I started, which was before I started doing large-scale works. I was actually a lieutenant in the U.S.
Sorry, John, I clicked accidentally on mute. Can you unmute?
Yes, I'm unmuted.
Okay, start
So
again.
This is work from Combat Art Tour of Vietnam in 1966, and this is kind of how I got my start as an artist after graduating from Texas Tech. These works were done in Vietnam and Hawaii as part of the Combat Artists program. I was the head of the first team, 5 artists who went to Vietnam, and you know, the work actually is in the collection of the Department of the U.S. Army and in their new Army Museum. So from there, I went to graduate school and then taught at California College of Arts and Crafts, where I did this photographic piece, which is pretty much just kind of a history of the universe according to stuffed trout and a few other elements, but kind of the connections of that. So that was, and from there, a number of things happened, but I ended up at the DeYoung Museum in the CETA program in 1975, where I did my first murals. This is the first one. And then the second one I did in conjunction with John Rampley. There was some influence by George Stewart's book about Earth Abides and it's sort of a dystopian future. So this was the first work that I did, was on the side of the DeYoung, and my career has sort of been downhill from there. You know, I've been more outside museums than in them, but started my public art career. And so this work was done in 1976 and was at the DeYoung for a long time, and then it was at Fort Mason and finally fell off the wall. From there, I ended up doing this piece influenced by Peter Bruegel, Fall of Icarus, in sort of a modern day Icarus, shall we say, with the astronaut. And at the time, Mars was as far as we'd gotten. So that's why he's on the screen. And City of Angels, Los Angeles used to be a desert. So that's where all the elements came from in this one, and kind of an allegorical work. Smaller piece. And then in 1979, I came back to the Bay Area and did this first version of the Emeryville Mudflats, later redone in 1995 as more of an architectural illusion. But it's, and then from here, actually the figures here, this is Tom White and Carrie Mullis, who were scientists at CETUS in 1980 and commissioned the painting that's above them. Carrie Mullis later won the Nobel Prize for the PCR, but this was I spent several projects working with the scientific community. So Return of Jonah actually Jonah, it's an allegorical work. Jonah is leaving the whale and returning to do his duty, as it were. This was a time when there was a lot of concern about the about P4 labs and recombinant DNA getting out into the world. So it's sort of a cautionary tale. It later became the signature piece of PCR's site on and then actually, and then the second piece for CETUS was this one. And from there, we got into a piece I did for the Olympics in 1984. And this work was the ruins of architecture, the Tower of Babel orbiting Jupiter, the tower to the heavens. So again, sort of an allegorical piece and kind of a celebration about how far we had gotten in exploration of space and the planet to this point, and sort of a concretization of myth, which a lot of my work does have elements of that. So this piece has been restored a couple of times and now it's gone. From there we moved to 1986, and this is a piece that I did at Cape Manalini restaurant in Beverly Hills, and this one actually sort of based on the Hagler-Hearns fight, and the I was interested in the photographic work of Jean-Antoine Marais and Muybridge, and sort of incorporated that into a time-lapse work, documenting the thing. And the ballerina sort of celebrates the black lights of unconsciousness, and from there we move on to, this was the one of the last pieces that was done for the Home Savings, which Millard Sheets did so many works for them and throughout California. And then after he died, they hired some other artists to do work. So this is a Home Savings, later a Chase bank in Daly City. Moved to Richmond in 1988 and did this work, which celebrates the geographic digital nomenclature of land, of square footage, and the fact that Richmond has 32 miles of shoreline. So from there, this work was, this is a revisionist history of San Pablo Avenue. And again, it's kind of the history of Richmond and all the people who were formerly there, who are still around, but the the L.A.S.E. and the Californios. So, and this is done under freeway underpass on Interstate 80, Castro Land Grant Company, the history of the Liberty ships and the shipyards. The 80 Below Cafe was, because it was done below Interstate 80, and also it sort of felt like that working under there, it was like a wind tunnel. But I did get to include my own art museum here, and again, the Aloni and Californios are examining contemporary works by Frank Stella, Joseph Beuys, a lot of the usual suspects. From there, this is a overpass where the BART station meets the train station, and Civic Center in downtown Richmond with so 25,000 square feet. And I was responsible for the whole surface there, and which is something I like to. I like to work on the complete surface, and then a couple of works for Valencia Town Center. From there, we moved to the library in Southern Mid-Valley Branch Library with, so I did scribe figures bringing in quotes, and the two opposing quotes are from Franz Kafka and the famous quote from Groucho Marx. So the library actually consists of scribe figures going throughout the library, installing these quotes. Some were chosen by librarians, some were chosen by me. Actually, again, I had the run of the entire interior of the building, which is fun. From there, we moved to University of California, Riverside. This is a piece I did around 2000, 2001. It had based on Mission Revival, which was very popular down there. They never actually had a mission, but there's a university side which had a lot of the accomplishments of UC Riverside figures, and then the city side, which had the civic figures who were important in the development. So, and then from there we moved to Hayward, California, and this painting is based on the former city hall and the geocranes and the pool cranes, and sort of a celebration of the craftsmen who made the figures. So it's a bit of history, and the building still exists, but it's not. They're not able to occupy it because of earthquake safety. So. And then we moved to, this is Pinole, and it's a gateway for the city of Pinole that, again, contains a bit of the history and the, right, various figures, and then to do there are faux painted panels on each one of those. And then we moved to, I worked with Daniel Galvez to do the same kind of project in the city of Dublin. We did 2 different overpasses there, and again, historical figures. So then I got to go back to the library again, which is one of my favorite places. And this project, the quote, "What is written remains, what is spoken vanishes." And if you put all the letters together, the title of the piece is "Words Fly Away," which again is from a quote about reading from the Holocaust, actually, in book burning, about the paper burns, but the words fly away. So this is a nice project. There was pretty big budget, so I was able to do the floor, the ceiling, and the walls. Use marmoleum material, which there were like 1,000 pieces in this floor. And again, the literary quote there is, "The sky is falling, a piece of it hit me on the head." And And it was a very small library, but with a very big budget, and it was nice. There are and then quotes from various literary figures in different languages on the first floor of the library. From there, we moved to another firehouse. This is down in Southern California, and it's firefighters, doing the, what it is they do. From there, actually, this is a project that I really enjoyed. This is the Berkeley Transit Plaza, the Berkeley train station. And this is a collaboration with poet Betsy Davids, who's a friend of mine. So she did the text, and I did the figures on both ends. Again, we dealt with the entire surface, but the L.A.S.E. figures. This is Betsy and part of the poem, and my friend Jack doing some of the lettering on the text. See if we can get to the end of this. It's a little blurry. So the L.A.S.E. inhabited this space. Actually, there was a kitchen midden in the former Springer's parking lot next to it that's maybe 5,000 years old. So I actually worked with the L.A.S.E. community, to get figures, historical figures, and try to get things accurately. And they were cut out of plywood and then mounted away from the wall because of the problem with efflorescence there. The quote, Makrut Inutka Huye Tak, is from the Chichenyo, which is a written version of the Ohlone language that was developed with the Ohlone at the University of California in Berkeley. On the opposite end is the illusionistic train station, and this was added in 2010. And there's a project, several other contemporary projects, the Emeryville racetrack, and in a school for an elementary school in Washington, Egerton Elementary, and then one for the Berkeley Civic Center. And this project, again, was a lot of fun. I was painted this while we were restoring the swimming pool. So the earlier parts of the painting were done when there was a big hole in the back wall. And this is a project for, again, for a school up in Washington, that you walk through it as you see it. And this one, it was the Trojans, and so the project was, this is large ceramic tile mural for Chevron that I did in 2014. It's a couple of smaller projects here. For the city of Richmond. This is for the Lucille Packard Children's Hospital in 2018, 2019, I believe, and the large digital print for the Children's Cancer Ward. And it's the animals from each continent, and the spaces are kind of divided up in terms of the square footage of the continental shelf. So, and then project for another one for Blaine High School, which sits right on the border of Canada and the U.S. And then the last one here, Raining Cats and Dogs, which is for a facility in Fort Worth. So, and that's kind of the that's the end of that, you know. Yes. So, yeah, I'm not sure what the time is, but
Oh, you were very, very fast.
oh, good. Yeah. Well,
Okay, let me. So, if anybody has questions, you can post them in the chat. I have a couple of questions for you. One, I mean, the question we ask all muralists, a painter who makes a painting or a sculptor who makes a sculpture has high hopes that this will be preserved over time. And in your case, you can almost bet that most of these things eventually will be taken down.
yes, some things still survive. Actually, a lot of the early work is definitely gone. The interior work is mostly still there. The libraries, certainly exist and are there. The Olympic mural has been destroyed and repaired like twice, so it's been redone. It's been done 3 times. It's currently in a state of disrepair. There's some discussion about redoing it for the 2028 Olympics that are coming up, I guess, there, but I don't think they're going to do it. Actually, I helped restore it once in 2004, but the other times, Willie Harone, who was one of the other Olympic muralists, restored it, and if they do it again, it would be somebody else painting it. For me, really, it's there's a certain performance aspect of doing these things. So it's, once it's done, that's it, and it lasts as long as it lasts. But
I see. So it's really the process that matters most to you.
yes, exactly. I mean, things do last forever because there's the internet and there's the visual image of it. So
Yeah, but it's not seeing a picture or a video is not the same thing.
no,
Right?
exactly.
I mean, exactly. If you're in front of this mural in the place where it was originally built and you can walk through it, it's a different
Yes,
experience.
yes. And certain things you still can, like the one at the Berkeley Transit Plaza actually was restored by Rowan Geiger a couple of years ago, so it's actually in pretty good shape. And she arranged it so that the city would be able to maintain it. A lot of that work is just the columns, which are a particular color, and the background wall. So that doesn't require a great deal of skill for somebody to come in. And when they restored the figures, which were still in pretty good shape, they actually had professional restorers who did that. So it probably cost the city more money to do it the second time around than it did the first time. But they actually it's an important part of Berkeley's collection, and they've been very good about actually doing the maintenance on it.